Yeah, thank you, and good morning, Bruce, and good morning to everybody in their homes today. I think that everything has already been said about COVID and the way that it's changed our lives. I'll have sort of 30 seconds on that in my talk, but I want to start off by telling you a story. It's a story of a man a long time ago that was watching the imminent death of his father. And he foresaw the financial, but also the emotional ruin of his dependents as a result. He couldn't just stand there and idly watch what's going to happen next. He responded. He responded with humanity and with empathy. He wanted to do something to help, not just his own family, but families in a similar situation and those that will follow suit. He was determined to change the negative outcome. And in the process, he wanted to offer relief and comfort, and not just the despair. Now, the rest is history. That man was Donald Gordon. That happened many, many years ago, 63 years ago. And that was the birth of Liberty Life. In the meantime, the industry since then has grown and developed increasingly more complex solutions that are meeting the needs of human beings out there. While humanity has always been the consequence of the best policies, most policies have been commoditized one way or the other for cohorts of people like you. But I think that we have an opportunity to think outside the box from here onwards. We have the opportunity to really personalize our humanity as insurers, but also you as intermediaries in the process. With the current technology, I think Jonathan has spoken about it, and many people after me is going to talk about this. We can take individuals out of their sort of boxes, their risk profiles and so forth, and provide them with solutions that almost perfectly match their real-time situation at this point in time. And this is driven by data. And there's two things that are really, really important here, and that is artificial intelligence and machine learning. And that's the foundation of the humanitarian future of our insurance industry. When we think of data, we think data is everything, and data is going to capture the world, and we've seen movies about it and so forth. But it gives us the opportunity to combine the inspiration of our purpose, our humanitarian purpose, our desire to secure financial freedom for the average South African out there, individual clients, but also their families, together with the exponential advances in technologies and data analysis. That means that we can effectively end off-the-shelf solutions and offer a degree of protection that is unique to individuals, that is truly personalized, and give comfort and absolute confidence in your future, not our future. So when we think of automation and the complexity of automation, insurance, when you think about it and you drill it down, it really is a combination of a series of complex decisions that we need to make. And technology today can help companies like Liberty, but also advisors and clients. And it can really help us in two aspects. The first one is by automating complex, yet sort of mundane tasks, sending out letters, policy information, standard documentation. And by doing so, we can save an enormous amount of time that we as humans spend on it. So we say machine first, human second. If the machine can do it better, let the machine do it. The second thing is by capturing information, storing and analyzing the data, identifying certain patterns and trends, and that helps us drive better decision making. Think of Amazon, think of Netflix. That's what they do. The most effective technology currently available allow us already as advisors to reduce those low-skill human interventions that we have to have and increase the high-skill data insights, leading us to have better interaction with our clients. But it's also informing insights. In the future, we will be using personal data based on broad categorization. Yes, of course, that's what we're doing today. And that already entry-level data that we are getting from clients, to give you an example, so things like educational background. We ask that when we initiate a policy. Geographic location, where you're based. Occupation, lifestyle choices. Recreational habits. Lifestyle choices. Personal goals. Now we're getting into career aspirations. Heartfelt desires. What is it that you really want? And then the unexpected and unintended consequences when life just happens. The result is that even today, policies can be personalized. Give an example. If we go and we're 70 years old and we're trying to apply for a life policy, it may be very difficult. But applying personal data and asking questions about long-term well-being, the result is a much more bespoke and relevant insurance solution for that individual. That 70-year-old versus the next 70-year-old. So that's different to the predetermined cohort of we all 70 years old. What that will do is really empower our partnerships. Now, those of you that's been around long enough will relate to my formative experience in the industry. It was a time when the business of selling insurance was sort of all off the shelf. We grouped individuals into broadly defined risk categories and offered them the most appropriate and most affordable policy that the industry can offer. Many of you do that and have done that. The one insurer versus the other. Look at price, proposition, and so forth. Yes, over time there were obviously product and services packages that answered new questions. We can think of accelerated death and disability and dreaded disease benefits. But only the wealthiest of clients could really afford bespoke solutions. But now with the partnership of technology and humanity, that can change for the individual client. When I look at marketing and the effect that the marketing evolution had on the change in our industry, as an industry we used to focus, again, on broad definitions of risk and the uncertainties that clients may experience. We would then position our solutions to the general categories, young people, middle age, empty nesters, etc. And what we would call cradle to grave marketing, the normal life cycle of people. But I believe people are not living like that anymore. You don't retire when you're 65. You're just doing something different, but you may live another 30, 40, 50 years. The 100-year life is here to stay. So I believe it's no longer best practice, sound advice, and we cannot have a business that's sustainable when we think like that. With the introduction of the concept of customer experience, the industry had to start to shift. It became possible to align our humanitarian purpose with a human-centered design of services, but also solutions. Consumers began to demand and expect something different from brands. And the industry stepped up again and developed capabilities to deliver to client demands. But then the internet came along and we started to see this thing that we call user experience. Now people were buying online. They were doing things online. They wanted to see their values online. And that put customer experience aside. But now even the best customer experience and user experience, I believe, is not enough to take us into the future. What do I mean? When we look at this thing that we call VUCA, at the cutting edge of consumerism and industries that are driven by consumers like ours, is a trend towards human experience. Central to this new concept is that this discerning customer, client, you and me are also those clients, is a complex human being living in a complex world, multifaceted world that influences the way that they think, act, and react. They have obstacles, they have personalities, they have private struggles and personal achievements. This is the world that we call VUCA. I think most people know. It's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. The uncontrollable environment. That is our current reality. And don't we find ourselves in the middle of that at this point in time? That influences every aspect of our human experience. And this makes our everyday experience of the world, the market, the industry, as an individual and our life harder to grasp and control, which again creates a VUCA. That's the bad news. The good news is that with the technological tools and techniques required to predict and prescribe solutions, what may happen next for this complexity that have been around for many years to help us, to help consumers with the human experience. And then I said I'll talk about 30 seconds about COVID. Then COVID happened, the COVID catalyst. I think Jonathan also mentioned it. Why have we been waiting? If we had the technology, but insurance industries, insurance companies, like most complex businesses in these volatile industries, have a more evolutionary way of progressing versus a revolutionary way of progressing. But that all changed, sort of within a month or two. And this coronavirus pandemic is almost forcing us to become a lot more agile, faster, and reassess radically the priorities. Now, up to now, I've spoken mostly about the general trends and then also generally as an industry. But I have to bring it a little bit closer to Liberty. At Liberty, we have built our business on the human touch of our advisors. Our advisors now are independent advisors. We make sure that we partner with people that give individual attention and trusted advice to their clients. And that's at the heart of our customer value proposition. They are highly trained, they're highly skilled, and they are business partners in delivering exceptional services to our clients. This individual humanity has always been key and have also driven, from a Liberty perspective, our recent digital transformation. We've also refreshed our brand, and we have a new marketing approach. The digital transformation we have put in place is to enhance, not client experience, not user experience, but the human experience. Now, I want to talk about, how do these things then come together? I don't believe, and I don't think many people believe this across the world, that technology can ever replace advice or advisors. Instead, it will continue to reinforce the impact and transform them into what I call the omnicompetent advisor. Advisors offering high-level skills that machines can never, ever match, including an ability to factor in social and emotional intangibles, to make value judgments based on the insight and instinct, and to identify specifically and interpret critical information behind the data. I know that artificial intelligence will assist us in doing this. I talk about omnicompetent advisors, many talk about the augmented advisor. These are the omnicompetent skills that only a human can bring to our clients. What that will mean is that we can actually unleash the humanity in what we do every single day. And that's the heart of my talk. And the contention that the future of life insurance in this digitized world is, in fact, humanitarian. Our business was founded on the impulse to ease emotional stress. Think back of that story of Donald Gordon. Relieve economic burdens and create financial freedom for clients and their families. Today, we're combining the power of technologies with the insights of the human being in an ongoing relationship that continually adds comfort, confidence, and value to the lives of average people out there. And this ongoing relationship has genuine and measurable benefits to everybody, but specifically to our clients that we serve. To compete in the future, I firmly believe that all insurance companies and advisors need to look beyond just the sales process, the onboarding process, but to focus on the continuous life intervention of our clients. And provide something different, that humanitarian context and touch that will retain clients and make them more loyal. COVID-19 has taught us many things, but the one thing that it has is the value of the human touch. When you can't touch people, when you have to be socially distant. It also gave us the fragility of our own lives, the emotional connection that we want with people, just to be around people and not be confined in our own homes. That is collective humanity. There's no going back to the generalized commoditization of our products and services. Consumers will in the future demand the human touch and elevated human experience in all aspects of their lives. As industry-leading insurers, we need to be there to be in it with our clients on their terms, in their real realities, to help them manage the VUCA world in all aspects, far into the future, not just as a once-off. The bottom line is thus, I believe that there will be more personalized and relevant experiences for people out there. This will in turn then make the client a lot more loyal to everybody as part of that value chain. As final thoughts, let me leave you with this. Our industry is amongst the most resilient in the world. We've seen this over many, many ages. Because our clients are now especially appreciate, more so than ever before, what we do as insurance companies. But now more so than ever, our role is to make our offerings, and that includes the offering that you as an advisor have every day, more understandable, more human, more transparent, more personalized, much more rewarding over the lifetime of the client. Thank you very much.